So, for what feels like the first time in years, we have a brand new theatrical release of a dinosaur film that is not part of the Jurassic Park franchise. It's called The End of Oak Street. Are fans of the genre finally going to get the next great dinosaur film, or are fans still going to be kept waiting? So, The End of Oak Street is directed by David Robert Mitchell and it stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. This director, to my knowledge, has directed two other films. I'm a big fan of both of them, so I'm happy to see this guy back, giving us his spin on the dinosaur genre. I'm a fan of It Follows. I know some people that movie does not work, but I actually like his other film more, called Under the Silver Lake with Andrew Garfield. If you're looking for a very weird, mind-bendy A24 like detective film, check that movie out, but be warned, it is very, very weird. You know the movie includes dinosaurs, but you're probably wondering, what is this film about? Now, this movie follows the Platt family, played by Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway. They have two children. They are married to each other. Anne Hathaway, being the mother of this family, she's kind of this quiet, aspiring writer, but even her husband doesn't know that. That's what she's trying to do. Then you have Ewan McGregor playing the father of this family, who's this very soft-spoken, hard-working. He's working numerous jobs trying to make ends meet for the family. So because of this, their marriage is kind of on the rocks. Even the kids can see this. That's all they're really doing as a family here. Not really bonding, just getting by. Which is fitting because what's going to happen in this movie is this weird storm surge, like electrical burst is going to happen. And they're going to be teleported back to basically when the dinosaurs roamed. So this is definitely a story of survival amongst this family and relationships, and it's kind of tonally related to Super 8 in my opinion. That's the type of movie you're going to get going into this if you want a dinosaur film, more so than the grounded, realistic version of Jurassic Park. Did I just say Jurassic Park was grounded? Ignore all of that. The original Jurassic Park. The original Jurassic Park. That tone, this movie is a lot lighter in tone than that, I think. Now, let me talk about what I actually enjoyed with this movie. I like the fact that this movie's at least attempting to do something different. Let's be honest. At least in my opinion, I'm going to be honest here. The Jurassic Park franchise sucks. The original film is great. 2 and 3, okay. I actually didn't mind the newest one with Scarlett Johansson. But other than that, I mean, it's the same tried and true formula every single time. Evil bad guy buys a park. Evil, like, pharmaceutical company or something tries to get samples out of the park. Dinosaurs get free. They start eating people. Half of them are PG-13. Lame movies. I get it. They're fan favorites. Everybody loves to see dinosaurs. We have made the same Jurassic Park film 15 times. I'm bored of it. So I am happy this movie, or somebody at least, is trying to breathe fresh air into the dinosaur genre, because obviously fans want that. Kids want that. These movies make buku bucks, and I'm going to predict already, this movie's going to kill at the box office because it's a PG-13 family-friendly version of a dinosaur film. So I did enjoy that. I enjoy the fact we're taking a couple of chances here. I enjoy the setup for the story being a little bit different. And I actually enjoy kind of the family-friendly tone of this movie. I didn't really need another Jurassic Park. I kind of like the fact that this is more about the family relationship than the dinosaurs to an extent. That being said, I do have some issues with how simple this story is, because just think about that. First third of the film is just getting to know this family, getting to know this relationship, getting to know the members of this town, and just kind of understand like why this family works the way it does. Middle section of this film is when the dinosaurs actually arrive and things start escalating. Back half of the film is when the movie gets a lot more dinosaur heavy. And for me, that does kind of work because it is different in structure than Jurassic Park, but at the same time, I'm not going to lie to you guys, there were a lot of moments in this movie. I don't want to say I was bored, but I was not super engaged. I think the parts of this movie, and this is going to be a hot take probably amongst the people who talk about this film, I think the parts of this film that are not related to the dinosaurs are by far the strongest parts of this film. When I was watching this movie, although it does escape the genre tropes of what most dinosaur films operate like, I felt like this movie still struggled to find the balance of having an actual story with making dinosaurs involved in it. I felt like this was a movie written because somebody wanted to do a dinosaur film, but they didn't really know how to get there, and they were afraid to do exactly what I'm complaining about and just make another movie about dinosaurs in a park. What they ended up doing is saying, okay, we're gonna have this kind of family dynamic thing, again, very Super 8-ish, very family friendly, almost like coming of age Stand By Me vibes, and we're gonna have this flip of a switch where boom, now dinosaurs exist, and you're going to accept it because there's not a whole lot of explanation given, and it's not very deep when you do get answers. So I'm just going to say, if you're somebody who's just here for dinosaurs, you're probably going to look the other way when it comes to that. But if you're looking for something a little bit more fleshed out, you're looking for something a little bit more well written when it comes to the plot of the film, I don't think this is that type of film at all, and it left me a little bit underwhelmed. Let me talk about the performances though. I think the two leads here, Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, are great because As I always say, Anne Hathaway, the woman can do no wrong. She's back at it again. I don't know. I just love looking at this woman. She's a great actress as well, but damn, they can cast her in every movie. Hollywood blockbuster to me. Ewan McGregor, I can actually say I was thinking during this movie, I don't think I've ever seen another movie he's been in, which is weird. I've never seen Trainspotting or whatever it's called. I've never seen any of his big movies besides the Star Wars, where he's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think. If I'm wrong, don't chastise me for that. But I used to get a lot of people telling me I looked like him, and that's the only reason I know who this guy is. And I never necessarily saw it, so comment down below if you agree with that, disagree with that. He's very good in this film, again, as this soft-spoken guy. They have good chemistry as actors and actresses. But I will say this, I never really bought them as a couple. It felt like they were in a movie kind of acting together. Although it's good performances, I never really looked at them and could picture them together. Maybe that's a personal thing. Maybe that's because I'm in love with Anne Hathaway. I don't know. I think the dinosaur CGI is fine here. I think that's actually one of the more positive things to this film, because a lot of the time as well, you get dinosaur films that are not part of the Jurassic Park franchise. They're very underfunded. I think this movie being part of Warner Brothers is actually funded properly to give you some pretty decent looking visuals at points. That being said, you're not going to get any B-roll of the dinosaurs in this review because Warner Brothers and Universal are the worst studios on planet Earth for flagging copyrights. So use your imagination there or look up the trailer yourself. But again, I think the visuals are fine, the ones you do get. I think they're a little bit underwhelming at points where, you know, if you're just here strictly for dinosaurs, this is definitely a good blend of story and dinosaurs. But it is more family centric when it comes to like the core four of this family surviving. So if you're kind of into that type of a story, I think you might forgive kind of the underuses of dinosaurs until the back half. I also kind of enjoyed the way this movie was structured when it comes to an environment standpoint, because when they showed those terrible trailers and AI marketing things, I just thought this movie, and even though I just said it was a negative a couple of minutes ago, I thought this movie was just very like flat when it came to a setup. I actually like the fact that the entire environment around these people just starts morphing into the tropical environments of the dinosaurs. Like, we're not just on the streets anymore, because I was wondering where the dinosaurs going to hide. Like, how are you going to incorporate numerous dinosaurs? But the fact that the environment itself is just teleported back in time so that you could have the ecosystem required for more of them was a creative storytelling mechanism, even though once again, it does require a crazy amount of suspension of disbelief to get there mentally. And going back to the director here, this is once again a movie I believe would be a lot worse in a lesser director's hands, but since this guy understands how to frame things in an interesting way, he understands how to kind of blend music with visuals at points, you get the best possible version of this movie when it comes to the script. Again, there's other directors I feel like this movie would have been absolutely atrocious in the hands of. For example, there are numerous scenes here, but to talk about one specifically, that are highly elevated due to directing style, and I need to point that out because whenever I see a movie like this, I do think it is something you have to tip your cap to. But the scene I want to talk about is when you have this family of four and they're sitting here in the aftermath trying to figure out what they're going to do and get their survival plans together. And there are so many creative camera shots here. There's so many split diopter shots as well. Felt like I was watching The Mummy all over again, where every single scene going on here that's like 15 different conversation lines is done in a split diopter between the two characters talking. And I've never seen a movie that was so committed to doing that. But I think it's actually a very creative storytelling mechanism to highlight the two characters that are talking to one another without specifically zooming in on that character only. I think it's a beautifully filmed scene. I think it's very creative, again, compared to what the movie could have been. And it's just something to point out when it comes to this movie overall, where I don't think the story or anything is anything to write home about. I don't think you've never seen a movie like this before, but I think it is a well done version of this type of film if you're going into this type of movie expecting that you're going to like it, or if you usually like this type of movie. But just being honest with you guys, not being a super huge dinosaur movie fan, this movie to me was just kind of there. I think this is a great movie to watch on streaming. I would never watch this movie again personally. Again, it's a well-made movie. I enjoyed things about it. If you're into these types of films, I'd say, hey, you'll probably have a good time. Go check it out in theaters. But let me know what you guys think when you check out The End of Oak Street. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the film. Let me know your favorite dinosaur film. Are you looking forward to this movie? Did you see that terrible AI marketing? Share it all down below. I do read the comments. As always, if you like this review, my name is Sean. Like, comment, subscribe, hype the video, join the channel down below. Become a channel member if you want to support me. But other than that, guys, I'll see you all in the next review. Peace.